From America's election headquarters, Republican frontrunner Donald Trump moving south, getting ready to welcome fans and followers to a football stadium. The Trump campaign saying it expects now 40,000 people at a rally tonight in Mobile, Alabama, as his Republican rivals come to terms with the fact that they just can't ignore Trump and wait for him to fade. Maggie Haberman from the New York Times is writing, as the dust from the first Republican presidential primary debate has settled, one fact has become as glaringly bright and clear as a golden hotel sign. Mr. Trump is not going away. Our political panel is here. Jackie Kucinich joined us, senior politics editor for the Daily Beast. Michael Warren, staff writer for the Weekly Standard. Good to see you both. Donald Trump seems to have defied the many predictions of his demise. And he is still very strong in the polling. Does it surprise you?
I mean, this whole thing has surprised me. If I said it didn't surprise me, I wouldn't be telling the truth. I would have said after some of the things Trump said about immigrants, some of the things he said about John McCain may have dwindled his poll numbers a little bit, but nothing has worked. He is really has this Teflon bubble kind of around him, and no one has figured out how to lance it. And you know, you've seen someone like Jeb Bush try to go at Trump, and it's just come back to bite him. It really hasn't helped him at all. So you know, we'll have to see how the other candidates handle this, but it really has been fascinating to see where his poll numbers have gone.
Yeah. One is tempted to wonder, is it personality or the policies that he is advocating? Michael, what do you think?
Part of it's personality, part of it's Trump's celebrity. I mean, you know, he's somebody who's been on TV for 25, 30 years. People want to go see him. He's entertaining. But I think it's also about policy, too. I don't think we'd be seeing this sort of sustained Trump mania if it were just about celebrity. You know, he's getting to something, in particular on the issue of immigration, where he's saying the sort of things that I think a large number of Republican voters feel about immigration, and not just Republican voters, independent voters, and even some Democrats, I think, are finding something they like about this, that Republican, I think, elites and establishment Republicans don't talk about. And that's what he's tapping into here. A lot of Republican folks I talked to with campaigns and outside of campaigns thought he would be fading a long time ago. I think they're sort of being proven wrong here, and it has so much to do with immigration.
Yeah. Jackie, there's a certain directness and glibness about Donald Trump, for better or for worse. It is appealing to people, especially when he talks in very direct terms that seem so anathema in Washington.
Right, and one of the interesting things when you really drill down into some of the recent polling is Trump's popularity with evangelicals and with the very conservative Republican voters. Now, particularly with evangelicals, some of his brashness you'd think would turn them off. Some of the things he said about religion, sort of, not making a joke of it, but you know, not really sounding that devout, saying he doesn't ask for forgiveness, things like that. But it hasn't mattered. They still like him when you look at this polling. So really, it's these Republican contenders, if they want to take Trump out, I don't know what the special sauce is, but they're either going to have to wait for him to fade or, I don't know, deal with it.
You know, what do the others do in the race? Do they try to emulate him, befriend him, assail him? Michael, what do they do?
Well, I think if they're going to wait for Trump to fade, they're going to be waiting until they're out of the race. I mean, the way the way to beat Donald Trump is to beat him. They're going to really have to go at it and win the arguments and treat what Trump is talking about, not just with immigration, but you know, this feeling that America's falling behind, that we're not winning anymore. They're going to have to treat those arguments seriously because a sizable number of Republicans are hearing something that they like. Now, right. Donald Trump will say ridiculous things, and he doesn't have a conservative record. He's, you know, was a Democrat until very, very recently. That kind of attack from other Republicans isn't going to fly because Republicans have a problem of not seeming to Republican voters as being very honest while they're running. They'll say one thing and then they'll do another. That's the perception in Washington. So I think to win, you got to beat Donald Trump, and you can't treat him like somebody who's just going to go away. He's not going away.
Well, and, you know, whomever may criticize Donald Trump, he goes after them. Sometimes quite viciously. It scares a lot of people. I think from what I've been reading, the super PACs are so scared of a backlash from Donald Trump that they're not engaging in attack ads against him. Jackie, what are your thoughts?
You know, that's probably a smart tactic. We're talking about someone who has no party loyalty. He doesn't need the party. He has enough money to do whatever he wants if he wants to go after someone and, flood the airwaves. So they are treading lightly here. And it's probably wise because he does have this mega platform, and right now people are really responding to it. So if you attack him, it's very possible that it would backlash on whatever super PAC and, by extension, whatever candidate they represent.
Yeah, people figured the self-destruct button would have already hit, but it hasn't, and we'll just have to wait and see what happens. All right, Jackie, Michael, good to see you both. Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks.